So real quick before the video starts, if you guys enjoy it, that's not the intro that I'm doing. I fell back into the old intro. Let's try this again. So real quick, if you enjoy the video and you want to see more of my content and you want to see me off of Roblox, you can check out my second channel. It'll be the top link in the description. I've been streaming on it quite a bit, and I've been doing stuff off of Roblox. I've mostly been playing The Binding of Isaac. I played COD Zombies last night on stream, which was fun, and it's a pretty chill time, so if you're interested in seeing more of me, go and subscribe to that channel. Anyway, with all that being said, today we're going to be talking about the Metaverse Quest and the Easter event that got added into Miners Haven. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on both of them, talking about all of the different miscellaneous changes and stuff that happened. And it should be a pretty good time. We're gonna go ahead and start out by talking about the Metaverse Quest. And the first thing that I want to say that I just really appreciate about this update is this island, this like small little map over here. I really like the aesthetic of it. I think it looks really nice. I really wish that for this Easter update the main map got kind of a makeover to look similar to this, because I think this area looks really, really good. I like it a lot. Now getting on to the actual quest itself, as sort of a seasoned MH player, it was piss easy, which I think was to be expected. It was very easy for someone who has experience with the game. Having like the champion infuser and stuff flying back and forth wasn't a big deal at all. Getting the mines and stuff from the shop, they're super cheap for me. I place down a guard mine and I win. But for someone who doesn't have any experience with Miners Haven, I can actually see it being a really annoying quest. First of all, it can be pretty difficult to even spot the docks and know where you need to go. Like, once you get a certain distance away, that little notification just disappears. And if you're someone without an infuser and you just have to walk around, you have to go around the entire outskirts of the map to try and find the dock. That can take a while because this is a pretty sizable map and it can be pretty difficult to even, like, notice at all where you need to go. So you can't even start the quest for a little while if you don't know, like, exactly where to go. And of course, once you get here, it's not too difficult to find the mine and the furnace, but you learn that you need to go back to your base, go back to the main island, and you have to walk back and forth between them 3 different times for all 3 carrots. Depending on where you spawn at, this can take a very long time without infusers. As someone with the champion infuser, this took me, like, a couple of minutes, but for someone without it, this can take, like, 15-20 minutes. Especially if you're inexperienced with Miners Haven, you don't know how to get the money to get the mines. This can take even longer. This can be like a 30, 40, 50, 60-minute quest. If you don't use a tutorial and you're like inexperienced, then this is gonna be a more challenging one for you. And I think that a couple of things could have been done to make it a little bit more accessible. I don't know if you necessarily need to change the money aspect because that's just playing through Miners Haven. I don't think that's necessarily too big of a downside, but I really think they could have made it easier to start the quest or see where you need to go so that you know what you need to actually do for it. And I think they could have done a better job at making it not so run back and forthy. Like, without infusers, that just takes a while and is annoying and tedious. I feel like there could have been something done to alleviate that. Like, maybe make it so that you just, when you get a carrot, it goes into, like, an inventory, and you don't have to individually carry them. So that you can just get all 3 of them and then have to make one trip back to the Easter Island. Something like that just to make it a little bit less tedious. That being said, it's far from the worst quest that I did in the Metaverse event, so it gets points for not being completely terrible. I think it was fine. Just could have maybe been handled a little bit better and made a little bit more convenient for newer players. Moving on from the Metaverse part of this update and getting into the Easter stuff, I think that the egg hunt is fine. I don't have any real issues with it. I think that it being similar to last year's fine. You can find the eggs pretty easily. I don't have any big issues with it. I also do really appreciate the fact that they've separated the old and new eggs, and the new eggs only spawn on the Easter Island. Makes it easier for someone like me who's gotten every single old egg already to know that I'm just getting all the new spawns, and also it gave me an excuse to spend more time on Easter Island and just appreciate the map. I do like that they decided to bring back almost every single old egg from the last egg hunt. I like the fact that some of these old items are coming back. That is one of the few things that I've really appreciated since Foxy took over, is that he's made a big push to try and bring back a lot of old items and give old players the opportunity to get some of these things that they couldn't have gotten before. It gives some of the newer players an opportunity to catch up to a lot of the OG players and get to a similar level as them. And having the stuff back does not hurt the old players at all in this case. I think there are some cases where it might hurt the old players a little bit, but for this I don't have an issue with it. Now, with that being said, there is one egg that I'm actually really not happy to see back, and that is the Egg Guild egg. It's obtained in the exact same way as you got it last year. You have to get it from someone with a launcher, and I don't like launcher eggs. I think they're kind of dumb. I wish it wasn't brought back, and I believe you need it for completion of the eggs again this year, which I think is kind of a bad thing. Yeah, launcher egg's bad. I also don't like the fact that it's Far Guild, but that's the least of my issues with it, to be honest. Something that I'm sure a lot of people do have issue with is the fact that the items aren't in the game yet. Like, you can't get the stuff for the eggs that you get, and I don't really mind that. We're gonna get them pretty soon. They'll be out in like a week or two probably. It's not gonna take too long. It's not a big deal for me. I know a lot of people are really itching to get their hands on some of these items, and I think for lower lives it does matter a little bit more, but for me personally it's not that big of a deal. I think that it shouldn't be that big of a deal for other people anyway. And I'm assuming it's just because of time crunch with this update anyway, so I can't really hold it against Foxy or Talon too much. Oh yeah, and they added an Easter box into the game. It exists. That's all the main, like, Easter stuff out of the way. Let's move on to some of the miscellaneous parts of this update. We're gonna rapid fire through this, just go through some of the changes and my thoughts on them real quick. There's a new UC leaderboard, and I'm number 19th on it, which is pretty cool. You can salvage up to 999 items at a time now, and this change was literally only added for Abyss. I guess it's a cool change. I don't really have a problem with it. There are also some tutorial changes. I believe it was just made to actually function better and not break, which is always good. Global Shout's got a character limit cap, which I think is good because it can help reduce a little bit of spam in the chat. Intro is made slightly faster, which is a good thing because it just gets you into the game a little bit quicker. The Abomination, Hades Fang, and Autumn Breeze gimmicks were taken out of the game and nobody cared. And finally, crate spawns were made just a little bit more consistent again, which is always nice to see. Now, there are two small complaints that I have with the update, two small things that didn't change from previous, which I don't really like. First of all, the fact that the update log is still only accessible through the main menu. I want to be able to see what changed and what new items there are and stuff in the game, but I can't check right now. It's a minor thing, but it's pretty annoying. I generally like to use the changelog, and I like seeing what new items are in the game at any time. The fact that it's not here is just annoying, and I don't know why it was taken out. In a similar vein, something else annoying added, I believe in the last update that hasn't changed, is this settings UI. The settings menu here is still annoying. You have to scroll down to get to layouts and withdraw all, and it just feels a tiny bit more annoying to use than the old one, and I don't see why it was changed to be like that. Sure, it looks nicer, but function-wise, it's just strictly worse and a little bit more tedious to use. Again, it's kind of a minor thing. It's not a super big deal, but I don't really see what the point of it is. And I'm kind of hoping that in some future updates, these do get reverted. We get maybe a different settings menu back, get the old one, and also get the changelog back in the main game. But that should be everything that I wanted to talk about. That is the full Easter update and the Metaverse Quest covered. Final rating, it's a fine update. I thought it was pretty neat. Let me give a shout out to all of the channel members real quick. We got Aramix, Fanimace, Ninja Girl, Abyss, Atrax, Luke, Gage, Sarah, Oxenite, and Spectoring. Thank you guys for being channel members, for supporting me. It is, as always, very much appreciated. If you enjoy my content, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy my content a lot, hit the join button. I've got a Twitter, a Roblox group, a Discord, all that good stuff in the description if you want to check it out. And that should be everything. I'm gonna end now while I've got an actual concise and good outro. Peace out, everyone. Love you, hate you. I did that wrong, but we're going with it. Bye!